They were children and teenagers, taken from their parents and turned into immortals against their will, to make them forget the cruelties inflicted upon them and to bind them in lifelong service to the Empire. They were subjected to hypnosis. They were called the Red Janissaries. They were elite soldiers, gathered from across the Empire. Their main task was not to fight at the front. That duty belonged to the Blood Moon Division. Blood Moon meant attack and conquest. The Red Janissaries were meant to maintain order in the occupied territories and secure the rear for the advancing divisions. The Italian and Spanish Janissaries were tasked with purging North Africa, from Morocco to Egypt, of the last rebels and remnants of the old states. The most capable among the Janissaries of Italy was the young Captain Lupo Nero. He and his troops crushed the seeds of rebellion in the ruined city of Tripoli. During one of his missions, he encountered a rebel girl. She wished to speak with him and administered a serum developed in secret labs by the Alliance and rebel scientists. And Lupo Nero remembered. He remembered all that had been done to his friends and family. He even recalled his real name, the one they had made him forget. The rebel girl was shot dead by the guards. Lupo Nero took the child's body and set out into the desert to return her to her people. The rebels lowered their weapons, recognizing that Lupo Nero was no ordinary immortal. Through them, the other Janissaries also regained their memories. The air battle over Australia had failed. The invasion of India and the assault on Japan had come to a standstill. Blood Moon soldiers were repelled by the Alliance's new silver weapons. The Empire was shaken. The Red Janissaries decided to turn against the Empire. From Italy, the uprising spread to other lands. Battles erupted along the Mediterranean coasts. On the Spanish island of Majorca, the Janissaries clashed with the Iberian Blood Moon troops under the ruthless General Esteban Morales. The Spanish Janissaries joined forces with their American brethren and laid waste to the east coast of the former USA. 10 years later, in 2060, Alliance troops landed on the shores of Europe. Italy, southern France, and the Balkans were ablaze. Japanese Alliance forces destroyed the Empire's blood farms and fleet bases in Kamchatka and Siberia. The Empire lashed out. In secret, its occult elite prepared alongside the Prophet of Blood, the Illuminati Rosi, the Enlightened of the Rose. These were powerful arcane beings, advisors and direct servants of the Blood Prophet. In the Black Temple on Svalbard, they entered a meditative twilight sleep. They invaded people's dreams, shattering their minds. Their psychic power was so great, they could influence matter itself with thought alone. In the labor camps, blood farms, and slave cities, 2 billion people were held as hostages. This was another reason why the Alliance's advance was so slow. Meanwhile, research on a synthetic blood substitute had been completed. An artificial blood, easier to produce and even more potent than that harvested from humans. However, the so-called Neo-Hema was not yet available in sufficient quantities to sustain the entire empire. For now, they still depended on the blood farms. In the Empire's weapons labs, they were engineering a new kind of super vampire, an immortal being empowered with the strength of centuries. No longer Homo Noctis, but Lamia Superior, a new race immune to sun and silver. Machines cracked the genetic code of the fanatical Blood Moon soldiers, enabling each warrior to awaken the memories of their ancestors. As the battle for Europe raged, the American House of the Immortals decided on a final assault against the Bolivarian Federation. A massive invasion force broke through the fortifications at Panama. The only thing that prevented the Imperial Army from reaching São Paulo within days was the fortress city of Bogotá. The greatest and final battle for South America loomed on the horizon. Meanwhile, the Red Janissaries launched an attack on the Unholy Empire's fortresses in Scandinavia. Southern Sweden and the Norwegian coast came under fire. Lupo Nero and his men freed the Star of Mankind, John Allen, from the clutches of the Princess of Stormguard and destroyed the castle on the Lofoten Islands where he had been imprisoned. John was reunited with his daughter. Lupo Nero led his armored fleet into the polar seas, their target, Svalbard, to destroy the Black Crown and kill the Prophet of Blood. As they reached the shores of Svalbard under cover of night, they faced a formidable enemy force. House Stormguard had dispatched the Norwegian General Varg and his Blood Moon division to intercept the Janissaries at Barentsburg. A terrible battle broke out. Svalbard was ablaze. Fighting raged on sea, land, and air. Missiles screamed through the night. Smoke and fire shrouded the Arctic waters. Just as the Janissaries began to gain the upper hand over the Norwegian Blood Moon troops, two more Imperial divisions arrived. One Icelandic and another from Sweden, led by General Marcus. The battle for Svalbard reached its climax. Neither side could claim victory. Thousands of dead littered the ice or sank to the depths of the polar sea, yet the path to the Black Crown now lay open. And John would stand face to face with the Prophet of Blood.